On? Great. I was gonna stream today, but like I posted some shit on Twitter, so a lot of people got quit. But a lot of people wondering my story about something related to this. I don't think it's still bad as this, just because given I'm not as rich as these people, but still, um, this has been a thing that like everyone's been telling me to talk about, and I just haven't. So we're gonna get to it, and we're gonna talk about some nuances. For real, because there are two different sides, and the thing is that I don't think either one is innocent. Like, if you were to ask me straight up, my gut, even though I haven't seen anything presented, I wouldn't be surprised if Johnny Depp actually did strike her. Honestly, my bad. Let me edit my chat real quick. Sorry about that. Um, yeah. That honestly wouldn't surprise me though. But what we've uncovered is that she's pretty much like straight up evil and manipulative. Fuck, I can't say my words. And all that. But it's crazy their approach. I love how it's like 60 Minutes Australia covering this, but whatever, it's some. They're not as good as the real 60 Minutes over here. They do engage in a lot of hyperbole, but they covered this story 2 years ago. And I just want to see how the perspective of the way they covered it 2 years ago was and how they covered it 2 days ago. And as we go forth, of course, I'm gonna like, be spouting my opinions right and left. I mean, but yeah. Let's see. Let me turn this up for you.
Drama like you've never seen. With an A-list cast, it's full of intrigue and fiery dialogue, and it's topped off with lashings of sex and drugs. There's even a pivotal scene set right here in Australia. But this production isn't playing at your local theatre. Centre stage is a London court, where actor Johnny Depp is suing an English tabloid for calling him a wife-beater. No one's going to win an Oscar, but Depp and his one-time bride, actress Amber Heard, have been putting on the performances of their lives, airing every sordid detail of their bizarre and doomed marriage.
No, she is. Let's get that straight. Because this wouldn't have been a thing if she had never wrote an op-ed for The Sun. That's true. My dog's acting up. Pirlo! Hey! Sorry. Pirlo! I'm sorry. Come on. Hey, take it easy. Come on. Oh, yo. What are you doing?
Getting out of hand there, buddy.
All right. Let's roll the clip.
Johnny Depp.
By the way, this was a terrible
wild
movie.
Relationship began before our very eyes.
Thank you for my roses.
I don't think you noticed.
Of course I noticed.
That
Hooking
chemistry
up on
during
the
this
set of
movie,
the
fuck, it's meant to
2011
be.
movie The Rum Diary. Those steamy scenes certainly looked like this wasn't just acting. And now the relationship ends as it began, with the world watching on, playing out for all to see in a courtroom.
It hits me, bam.
She threw a vodka bottle at me.
Revealing the real-life drama captured on the couple's own cameras behind the scenes.
You wanna see crazy? I'll give you fucking crazy. Are you crazy?
Have you drunk this whole thing this morning?
Oh, you got this. Got this going? Oh, really? Really?
We've had drunken tirades, drug taking.
Bro, she's filming him at his like worst moment. For personal clout. Like, that would piss me off too.
We've had something to do with defecating on a bed. We've had fingers cut off. It's bonkers, really. It's crazy stuff.
Amidst the madness, the case boils
Hello.
down to Johnny Depp suing a newspaper for calling him a wife beater.
One time, Johnny was hitting me. And he was hitting me hard and repeatedly.
Like I said, those lacerations, they're pretty consistent, I think, with being hit, you know.
But every aspect of the troubled relationship is being examined, including their tumultuous months in Australia, with new details on what
So they
really
went to
happened
Australia.
with the
Of course they
bizarre
did. They're fucking
saga
rich.
surrounding their dogs, Pistol and Boo.
I'm truly sorry that Pistol and Boo were not declared.
The couple ended up at war with Barnaby Joyce after smuggling their pets into Australia. And now Barnaby's ready to bite back again.
Hello, defamation lawyers. There might be royalty in Hollywood, but we don't give a toss about that.
But this is definitely not a story with a Hollywood ending.
And I think everybody walks away from this case, whoever is the winner, staying.
Johnny Depp, aka Captain Jack Sparrow, is Hollywood royalty.
Well, go on, go get them.
Johnny,
For the actor,
look,
twice
right now,
voted
Johnny, but
sixth
he's
man
not
alive,
innocent
his
either.
red
But
carpet
she's
reputation
definitely
was
abusive,
only
yes.
enhanced when he started dating the stunning young actress Amber Heard. But for this glamorous couple, things were ugly behind closed doors.
This is just a dysfunctional unit.
This conversation. I need promises that you're gonna be there.
I know this is a circus. It's celebrities. It's tabloid headlines. But all in all, this is a serious and sad case when you really drill down into it.
Tristan Kirk has sat through the extraordinary case at London's High Court, reporting for the Evening Standard. The evidence on both sides has been shocking, as Johnny Depp sues over reports in the Sun newspaper that he assaulted Amber Heard on at least 14 occasions. The court's been shown numerous images of Amber Heard with bruises on her face. How does Johnny Depp explain that?
Well, Johnny Depp says this whole thing's a hoax. He's been set up, basically. From almost the get-go on their marriage, Amber Heard was concocting this Me Too victim narrative where he was abusing her, and so she had a sort of an insurance policy.
This is video Amber recorded in 2016, setting up a camera to capture one of Johnny's fits of rage.
We're not even fighting this morning. All I did was say sorry.
Did something happen to you? I don't think so.
As Johnny pours himself a tall glass of red wine, he realises what's happening.
Oh, you're crazy. Oh, you're crazy.
Have you drunk this whole thing this morning?
Oh, you got this going. You got this going.
You should have been out of the relationship, honestly, a while ago. You know, I can... Honestly, if you'd like for me to put it in the description, I could. Toxic femininity. But, no, you know, he should have been out of this relationship a while ago. Because there's one thing that women do that men just don't get away with. Yeah, but I want people to come into the chat. That's the problem. But I was saying, there's one thing women do that men don't have the luxury to do when it's two men amongst themselves in an argument. And that's playing dumb to the narrative. Like, that's like, what do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. When you know exactly what the other party is talking about. You know, stuff like that. When men do that, there's a reason to exchange blows. Because it's actually socially, it's amongst one of the most disrespectful things you could do. But when a woman starts doing it, that means she doesn't respect you. You need to get out of there. Okay? That's it. If she starts to play dumb with you, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you're talking about. The respect is gone. You know? Because that means the person in their mind can perceive you for a fool. Okay? Whenever you get in a situation and a girl chooses to argue with you that way, you don't need to be in that relationship. I'm telling you. Anyways, let's keep it going.
Oh, really? Really?
There was clearly no trust in the relationship because Johnny was making his own recordings as well, which have now also been leaked.
I'm sorry I hit you like this, but I did not punch you. I did not f***ing deck you. I f***ing was hitting you.
You can't
I don't know
deck
what the motion of my actual hand was, but you're fine.
That's another thing. Like, all right, she was hitting him and she's clearly minimizing it bad. But even when a woman starts to put her hands on you, she's lost respect for you. You know, they believe that there's a weakness to you. You know, you need to just leave at that point. Honestly, he's Johnny Depp. You know, he can get married again if he wants to. You know, unfortunately, however, in these situations, a lot of times both parties in the relationship actually do love each other, and I think I'm not sure if she really loved him, if she's willing to, you know, manipulate a narrative, play dumb, strike him. But I know that if he was willing to put up with this, he being Johnny Depp, he's 60, but he's also worth like $400 million. Okay. And keep in mind, he was still in his 50s when this was happening too. But I think he may have actually been in love with her still, you know.
Oh,
That's the difference
he's
between me
bored,
and
though.
you. You're a baby.
Because you
See?
start
You
physical
are
fights.
such a baby.
Because
Grow
you-
the up,
Because you start
Julie.
physical fights.
They had a habit between them of recording various things that went on.
Yeah,
it
she's
was-
look at how manipulative she is. She's calling him a baby even though she's using physical force with him.
it's a really peculiar thing because when you cover these kind of domestic violence cases, divorce, there's very rarely any first-hand evidence of what was going on at the time. But in this case, rather oddly, they were taping everything. It's been really peculiar, actually.
It feels a little bit like there's been evidence presented in the High Court, but then also evidence leaked in the court of public opinion to try and shape the PR narrative as well.
Oh, definitely. So you've got Johnny Depp's side who are pushing his lines. Amber Heard's PRs are feeding out their lines.
The evidence, while sensational, also gives a sad insight into the couple's troubles. Amber provided photos that she alleges showed Johnny passed out while on drug and drink binge.
There's a chance he actually was in love with her and she not with him. He's far more successful than her, but if she's willing to ridicule a man and take pictures of him in his lowest moment, the respect at this point, I'm just laying out literally cases of how she doesn't respect him. And this is just adding to the fucking pile of shit, you know. This is
Including
horrible.
This one, where a tub of ice
is
cream has
inexcusable.
melted on his lap. And text messages from Johnny certainly help support the narrative that he has substance abuse issues. One boasting,
No food for days, outers, half a bottle of whiskey, 1,000 Red Bull and vodkas, pills, 2 bottles of champers on the plane.
Fuck.
but Amber also stands accused of a drug problem, as well as being an unfaithful wife. Johnny has alleged
Alright, adultery, that's... Yeah, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, this relationship, it might be irrelevant. They're both fucking famous, all that, you know. Yeah, you know, but there's no excuse for their behaviors, you know. I mean, if they're engaging in adultery, then they gotta be mature and call it off, you know. But, alright. It's crazy, though, how the narrative was able to be in Amber Heard's favor from the get-go, because in this country, drug use and physical abuse, in the perception of the public, regardless if it be true or not, in most cases it's not, but regardless if it be true or not, people synonymize drug use and physical abuse in the same way. And by default, she's writing this, she gets the first word, she's adding these details, you know, everything. She basically painted a picture of a guy that would do that. She's able to manipulate the narrative in her favor easily, and she used his weaknesses against him to do it. She's a horrible human being.
She had affairs with at least 8 other men, including Leonardo DiCaprio, James Franco.
Okay, let's be honest. I'm gonna be honest here. Okay, if my girl is with me and Leo DiCaprio hits on her, I'm just gonna sit down and be like, all right, I get it. Just be nice to her, Leo.
And Elon Musk. While this case centres on domestic violence in the relationship, so much of the bombshell evidence from both parties has felt like a smear campaign. It might be hard to pick, but what's been the strangest moment in all the proceedings?
One of the oddest things from this
She
case
gets a
is
pass
that,
if Leo DiCaprio
both
wants to
Johnny
have
Depp
sex with
and
her.
Amber
Okay,
Heard have been,
I'll
been
just
discussing who defecated on a bed. I mean, it's not the kind of thing that comes up normally in court anyway, let alone to have these household names, these megastars, fighting, essentially, over who might have done it. Was it a dog? Was it Amber Heard? Was it a friend of Amber Heard's? Was it Johnny Depp? I mean, who knows? It's an utterly bizarre thing to be talking about.
I think one of the problems is that there's no winner here.
Mark Stevens is a defamation law expert and says part of the problem for Johnny Depp now is that in trying to clear his name on domestic violence allegations, the court has heard countless claims that damage his reputation on other fronts. If you were representing Johnny Depp as someone with such a colourful past, and he came to you and said, I want to sue for defamation because they called me a wife beater, even if he was 100% innocent, would you say, it might not be worth it?
Yes, I would. And I have to give that message to many celebrity clients over the years. You have to weigh up the potential reputational harm as against to the benefit, sometimes an illusory benefit, a Pyrrhic victory, if you will, of getting a vindication in the libel court. So very often...
He thinks that it's not even worth it, but I think Johnny Depp, he thinks his career has been like just completely tarnished, and this is literally his last toss, just showing the public, see, this bitch is a liar, you know, and then him hopefully getting his, you know, roles back, because he stopped having roles essentially after this, you know. So I think this is just his last throw.
You can win a battle even if you're successful in your case, but long term you lose the PR war.
You feel like that might be the path Johnny Depp's gone down here?
Yes, I think Johnny Depp is self-immolating in bringing this proceedings, so I think he's been very ill-advised to go down this route.
The 57-year-old actor is adamant he never assaulted Amber, but it's not the first time they've gone before a judge on this issue.
She threw a vodka bottle at me.
These depositions from their divorce hearing were only released recently and give an insight into their rocky marriage.
He was about to push my sister down the stairs. She was attempting to break us up. I am protective over my baby sister. When he laid hands on her, I don't know what I did, but I...
Yo, she speaks as if she's reading a fucking monologue, yo. Like, I don't feel like she's genuine.
No, I jumped in between the actions that I saw could lead to a fatal injury to my sister. She was standing on the top of a flight of stairs, and she has never hurt anyone in her life, and she does not deserve to be pushed down the flight of stairs.
I don't believe her. I don't believe this ever took place. Like, this is said like a monologue.
And it looked like she was about to be. And I would have done what anybody who has a child or a sister would have done.
Yo, you're not reading for a part,
Amber. Task of deciding who's using their acting skills and who here is really telling the truth.
So, for me, it's possible that there's a bit of both stories that are right. But for both of them, this has been a damaging exercise. So, whoever emerges the winner, there's been a lot of dirty laundry aired and a lot of damage done to reputations on both sides.
Coming up,
The Australia incident is the craziest part.
our role
What
in
happened
this
in
bizarre
Australia?
bust-up. Out-of-control parties, drug binges, furniture smashed, windows broken, our Johnny and Amber's puppy love
Did you smuggle the dogs into the country?
There might have been other things smuggled.
turned Barnaby into a screen villain.
Hey, Johnny, your life ended up all trapped.
That's next on 60 Minutes.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Tucked away from the Gold Coast's beaches and glitter strips, this mansion to the city's north is where Johnny Depp and Amber Heard called home when he filmed Pirates of the Caribbean in Australia. The luxury 16-hectare property is owned by motorcycle legend Mick Doohan and previously played host to Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie when they were in town. The secluded estate is renowned for its privacy, and that's why Johnny and Amber chose it, just months after they tied the knot in 2015.
Johnny and Amber wanted their wild lifestyle here to be out of the public eye, and it turns out for very good reason. Bombshell evidence in a London courtroom has now spelled out for the first time what really went on behind these gates. Out of control parties, drug...
A month into the marriage? Fuck. I'm not gonna... Yo, the sex must have been just amazing. Like, just... To have all these troubles, still get married, a month into the marriage, just wow. Wow.
Binges, furniture smashed, windows broken, graffiti on the walls, and both sides accusing the other of domestic violence.
The Australia incident is perhaps the craziest part of this.
Imagine how much money you have to just damage an estate that doesn't belong to you.
The incident the Evening Standard's Tristan Kirk is referring to finished with this. Johnny Depp in a Gold Coast emergency ward with his finger
Lost finger a month
Amber
into
Heard
marriage.
said that over the course of 3 days, she was basically held hostage as he went mad on drink, drugs, and smashed up this house. At one point, she says he sliced off his own fingertip and then started painting the walls, first with his blood, then dipped it in paint, started daubing messages around, smashing windows, breaking mirrors, painting on the sofas. It's all mad.
To have the balls to do this to like this expensive ass place. Like money is of no concern to these people.
Do you find yourself scratching your head and thinking, how does this happen?
We're not going to get the security deposit back. What do we do? Yeah, and they don't think about that shit.
Where they I think it took them something like 13 hours just to do the initial cleanup because of the damage that had been done. Burnt cushions, paint everywhere, glass bottles tossed around the room, broken glass everywhere, alcohol spilled.
To
and
be
in the
a
midst of that
fly
was Johnny
on the
Depp's
wall.
fingertip lying somewhere.
The call was shown text messages from Depp to his doctor in the aftermath of that incident, where he said Amber was
as full of shit as a Christmas goose. A malicious, vindictive, and evil c***. Here's the real deal. Her obsession with herself. She's so f***ing ambitious. She's so desperate for success and fame. That's probably why I was acquired.
5 minutes later, he texted another friend saying,
Need more whitey stuff ASAP, brother man. And the business.
It's believed they were references to cocaine and ecstasy. But it was another incident on the Gold Coast that would cause far more headlines at the time.
It's time that Pistol and Boo buggered off back to the United States.
Australia's then agriculture minister.
I love it. Like they just named 2 puppies. Look at this, and then the music drops. Look.
That would cause far more headlines at the time.
It's time that Pistol and Boo buggered off back to the United States.
Australia's then
I
agriculture
love
minister Barnaby Joyce
the drop in the
caused an
music.
international stir when he threatened to euthanise Johnny and Amber's teacup Yorkshire Terriers.
What kind of a maniac is this?
After the couple smuggled them in on a private jet.
Did you smuggle the dogs into the country?
There might have been other things smuggled.
Come on.
Not dogs.
Well, it seems you missed that bit.
Your wife actually, they threatened to put her in jail. Isn't that true?
If they did that, I just fly to Australia and assault that man.
Yeah, right.
He was talking a big game though. I think what did he call you? A sweaty, big-gutted man from Australia who was inbred with a tomato?
Oh, well. Hey, Johnny. Look where your life ended up, old trout.
Most of the bad blood between
an asshole.
Barnaby and Johnny relates to this hostage-like apology video he forced them to record.
When you disrespect Australian law, they will tell you firmly.
I am truly sorry that Pistol and Boo were not declared.
As far as I was concerned, they looked like 2 people
in a basement in Beirut. That's just what I wanted.
Yeah, they were recording that apology for him. Now it has nothing to do with the case. Like, it's just, as a unit, they got forced to do something incredibly stupid because of this guy. And now he's happy he gets to be on TV at 60 Minutes.
I thought it looked totally humiliating. We've got a message that is going all around the world right now. That is going off like a frog in a sock.
Was there much pushback in the party room about the way you went after these two?
Oh yeah, some beautiful people were upset. To be quite frank, there was a lot of hoo-ha within Canberra. Oh, Barnaby, you can't do that. You can't go so hard. They're Hollywood royalty. I was going, get lost. And then the foreign affairs minister Julie.
Yeah, they're like praising this guy for just being an absolute like piece of shit. He was about to euthanize 2 dogs for no reason. Like, what a terrible ending. Like, 60 Minutes gotta do better than this. This 60 Minutes Australia, they gotta do better. What the fuck is this?
Bishop was,
This relationship is toxic, but look at this instance here. They were together because their dog was finna be euthanized. What?
Give me a break.
There are much bigger legal issues for Johnny Depp and Amber Heard to deal with now, with their case in London wrapping up this week.
I stand by my testimony, and I now place my faith in British justice.
The judge isn't likely to hand down a decision until September, and according to defamation law expert Mark Stevens, neither side is likely to win big.
What does Johnny Depp stand to make financially if he is successful with it?
I think if he's successful and this is a false
You get his work back.
allegation made by the Sun and Amber Heard, then I think he's probably going to walk away with somewhere between £75,000 and £100,000.
Well, figure that's small. I mean, it's barely enough to cover the costs of putting fuel in the jet to fly back to Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean, the damages that he'll get won't even pay, for his drinks bill for his legal team for last night's dinner. I mean, he is going to be severely out of pocket, but he has.
Yeah, but he'll be able to work again.
In fairness, always said this isn't about the money.
He's just trying to clear his name.
It's about proving that I am not a one.
But honestly, without question, I think Johnny Depp isn't innocent either. He could have been, verbally abusive. Without question, I think 100% chance he was probably verbally abusive especially if he went on a drunk tirade, Physically abusive, there's a strong chance of that too, It's not to say Johnny Depp is completely innocent.
Wife beater, and I think that is, for him, the verdict that he seeks.
But she's a monster.
Hello, I'm Tara Brown.
Alright, that was fucking 2 years ago. Alright, this is the latest one.
Ready?
Alright. Let's see what's going on the old Twitter. Before we get into it. Yeah, let's just get to it. There's nothing really brain rotty here on the Let's watch this fucking ad.
With iBuyDirect thousands of affordable frames. Find the perfect pair and see the
Yeah, and a lot of people that see this, they're gonna be like, oh, mental abuse, that's some pussy shit. Blah 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 blah. No, that's not. Look at Will Smith. You don't think he goes through a mentally abusive relationship himself? That shit's real. That shit's real, But your feelings themselves can be your ultimate barrier to progression in your life. It could be your demise. Your feelings themselves can hold you back. And no lie, that could have been the case with Johnny Depp. He actually was in love with Amber Heard. That could have been the case with Will Smith. He probably still loves his wife, But anyways, let's see this newer 60 Minutes. This was literally 2 days ago.
It was noted that when two stars collide, there's an almighty explosion. Just look at the court case of Johnny Depp versus his former wife, Amber Heard. After only a few days, the trial is already a blockbuster, and the critics are raving, mostly in disbelief. Why is the pair exposing the growing and unworn, very growing details of their failed marriage? Well, Johnny claims his career was destroyed after he was defamed in a newspaper article Amber wrote about domestic violence. Now he's demanding millions in damages. Amber, not surprisingly, is countersuing for millions more. But the truth is, in this Star War, they'll both pay dearly.
Your next witness?
See, they keep saying, I don't agree with that. I feel like if Johnny Depp can clear his name, he will start to find more work. Or start to work again. Because we haven't seen much of Johnny Depp recently. You know, not since this shit came out. So, he has a lot to win. She has everything to lose. Because the matter of the fact is, after she alleged all that shit in The Sun, right? The Sun, you know, the newspaper in England. She went and got money for speaking fees to talk about domestic violence. So, her reputation, she has everything to lose.
Your Honor, we call Mr. John C. Depp.
Who needs to watch a Hollywood drama when you can just tune in to the daily vaudeville of the Fairfax County Courthouse in Virginia? Even in their wildest dreams, Tinseltown scriptwriters couldn't come up with lines quite like this.
Amber will testify about how Johnny would get so drunk and so drugged out that he would vomit all over himself and worse, lose control of his bowels.
Just embarrassing.
It really is very clear this is all unscripted, particularly when the Pirates of the Caribbean star himself takes the stand.
Good afternoon, Mr. Depp.
Good afternoon.
Can you please tell the jury why you're here today?
And with evidence like this, the case could take quite a while.
About 6 years ago, Ms. Heard made some quite heinous and disturbing, brought these disturbing criminal acts against me that were not based in any species of truth.
The testimony lurches from disturbing to downright bizarre.
And you would sometimes drink whiskey in the mornings too, right? During this time period.
Isn't happy hour any time?
And what's extraordinary?
Great response. Really get smart. Because, again, that the guy questioning is trying to play into the preconceived notion that there is a direct link between drug abuse and actual physical abuse. When when that itself has been overhyped in this country, because that link is not as big as we thought it was.
When you hear all of this is that the whole reason Johnny Depp launched this court action is because he's trying to improve his reputation.
Lies build upon lies and build upon lies.
Is the sad reality that, Johnny Depp's reputation is now so damaged that in some ways he has nothing to lose by trying to swing the bat and have another crack at this case?
Yeah, yes, I think that's a legitimate strategy. I've got nothing left to lose. I found a jurisdiction that will allow me to take Amber Heard to court one more time, and I'm going to have a crack at it because otherwise, what do? Retire, essentially, in disgrace, going to my grave, as he said, carrying these allegations of violent abuse, which he says he knows aren't true.
When he became an investigative reporter, Nick Wallace never expected to become an expert on the rise and fall of Johnny Depp. He covered the Hollywood star's first attempt at defamation when he sued the Sun newspaper in the UK 2 years ago. And now he's in the US as Depp sues for libel again, this time taking on his former lover.
And on my side of the bed, was human fecal matter.
The result in that first case
Yeah, and again, another example of where she just doesn't respect him. Like, she's gonna put human feces on his bed. I mean, let's hear the counter though, to that, because like, what if he's just saying that, you know?
It's in London. How did that pan out?
The judge in the case, who is a renowned expert on libel, looked at all the evidence and decided that, he joined up the dots and decided that, on the balance of evidence, it was substantially true that Johnny Depp was a wife beater. So it didn't
Look at
go
where,
well for him.
yo, look at where Believe All Women got us to. I mean, the Me Too movement is totally necessary. We need to put up some bad dudes behind bars. But there are people that took that and conflated it to believe all women. When in fact, as you're seeing, women can be abusers too. I mean...
So a resounding defeat for Johnny Depp first time around in London. Why then is he double?
Yeah, resounding. I mean, really, really resounding. I mean, the judge's verdict was damning on Johnny Depp.
So if he's so thoroughly defeated in the UK, why then double down in the US and go through it all again?
If Johnny Depp loses this trial, his career is toast. I mean, it's not in that good shape anyway. And this is the last throw of the dice. He's trying to persuade some good American citizens in Fairfax County, Virginia, that actually everything he's been saying all along is right. But there is now a body of public opinion, evidence, high court rulings in London that paint him as someone capable of physical violence against his spouse.
Yeah. Blurred vision, no balance, no tongue. The mind recoils in horror.
This time, Johnny's got in for Amber because she wrote an article for the Washington Post about domestic violence. Although Depp wasn't named, he took it personally.
Drinking doesn't get you in trouble. How does anybody drink it?
Yeah, because now she's making money off of speaking out against domestic violence when she may have not. I think she was, but she was an abuser herself. You know, there's two sides to the coin, and again, she could be projecting.
161 miniatures. Are they not complimentary?
But it wasn't always all-out war between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Their worlds collided on the set of the 2012 comedy drama The Rum Diary.
Oh, God. Why did you have that? Just when I was doing so good with that.
Their chemistry in the movie was palpable, and romance quickly blossomed off-set.
I think there was something in the shower that was very real.
You look at guys like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and
this spark.
I mean, sometimes actors really do fuck on set. Like that is a thing that has happened before.
He said he felt was literally pure Hollywood. But he was also very much aware that he was almost twice her age, and he called himself Steve, and she called herself
That's
Steve
another
after
thing too.
a Lauren McCall.
She was 25, and he was like in his 40s or something, or in his 50s, right? And it's like, listen, she's fresh into adulthood. When I know you're technically an adult on paper when you're 18, but when you're in your early 20s, you don't know what the fuck you're doing in life, okay? Let alone her, who didn't really have the early 20s that someone like, you know, Chat or myself would have, you know. Like, usually there's a growth process into learning how to, you know, make a living and stuff like that. She was in her early 20s, already relatively successful, if not a millionaire, close to a millionaire, right? So, again, that lapse, that maturing process that we all go through, right? She essentially doesn't go through it, one, and she's fresh into adulthood. You know, essentially, it's as if he had to, like, babysit her, you know?
Humphrey Bogart movie.
Like, he doesn't know what he got himself
was that much
into.
older than Lauren McCall, so they were aware of the age difference, but he said they had so much in common. They had this spark, and they had this passionate love for each other, which developed into this tempestuous relationship, which slowly became progressively more and more toxic. And then, God, when it went toxic, I mean, it is proper dirty linen being washed in public, and to sit there and listen to it, it's not nice.
Suddenly, I'm just getting clobbered from behind and...
While cameras weren't allowed in the UK court proceedings, the game changer in this case in America is that every minute of evidence, every facial expression is being broadcast live around the world.
This is going to be like watching a movie, and people are not going to get enough of it. They're absolutely going to be glued to watching that.
I'm fucking glued right now.
Hollywood lawyer and legal analyst Christopher Melcher is gobsmacked it even got to this point.
Do you think there's just a fascination with these two that it's almost like a car crash? You can't look away.
It is, and there's a bit of self-destructive behavior that we're seeing on both sides. And why have they allowed it to go this far? Why couldn't they just break up and go in peace and move forward? Why are we seeing a court case about a failed relationship?
There really is a bit of the O.J. Simpson case about this one in terms of the public fascination.
This is a big trial in the amount of attention that it's getting. OJ had a lot of attention because there was a murder, there was 2 victims there, there was a lot of very complex evidence. This case is not that complicated. It's the people that are complicated, and we're getting to learn more about them.
Go ahead. Hit me.
In many ways, we're learning too much more.
Fuck, that's acting. I'm sorry. It's like, yeah. So I looked at her and I said, hit me. Oscar! Yeah, for real.
And worryingly for Johnny, new details.
He says it so cinematically. That's the thing. Amber Heard did it too, as we saw in the last 60 minutes. But he does it well in this one. It's just like his is more believable because he's just obviously a better actor, you know. Hers was just, we could tell it was straight monologue. It's like when Ted Cruz, does theater. And we can all tell.
His bizarre lifestyle might now even lead to criminal charges right here in Australia.
Smashing a phone, really? Is that a criminal charge?
Then there will be lots and lots of people looking at this to see whether or not charges can be brought.
When Hollywood heartthrob Johnny Depp came to Australia to film Pirates of the Caribbean in 2015, pandemonium ensued.
There was a Pirates of the
stunning young wife Amber Heard.
There was a Pirates of the Caribbean in 2015. Hold on, Pirates of the Caribbean. $2017? Fuck. I saw these 3. But fuck. Crazy.
Picture perfect couple. But in a US court last week, Amber made bombshell new revelations that Johnny Depp sexually assaulted her while on the dock.
Now she has to step it up a notch. She's getting proved now I really don't believe her because I'm gonna take a lot of heat for this when people see this. But it's she's been proven wrong at every corner of this saga, really. And I feel like if this happened, she would given the saga where she supposedly laid everything out on the table, this would have been left there too. I feel like this is her last, throw at credibility. I don't know.
As you go through those 3 days of
But we gotta take the allegation seriously.
He rips off her nightgown. He has her jammed up against a bar. He has hurled bottles and bottles at her. He has dragged her across the floor on the broken bottles and liquor. He has punched her. He has kicked her. He tells her he's going to f***ing kill her. He f***ing hates her. He's pounding at her, and then he penetrates her with a liquor bottle. That's the Johnny Depp that you're going to hear about in this case.
It is a horrendous thing. It is a criminal act in itself.
Fuck.
But if
You know what? Maybe. Fuck, that's really damning.
And says, yes, you were also a victim of sexual violence, of violent sexual assault whilst in Australia, then there will be lots and lots of people looking at this to see whether or not charges can be brought.
Fuck.
Oh, we don't break the law. We paid it.
Nick Wallace has covered many of Johnny Depp's legal trials and tribulations. While it may seem bizarre that a couple from Hollywood is in court on America's East Coast debating alleged violence and sexual assault incidents in Australia, he says there is a semi-logical explanation for it.
It is very strange that most of the protagonists are based in California, that the damage that was done to Johnny Depp's reputation was to the Hollywood producers in California who stopped calling him as a result of these allegations. But the judge in Virginia agreed that this Washington Post article was published on servers in the state of Virginia, which then went around the world. So she said, yes, there is jurisdiction in the state, you can sue for libel.
Is he effectively jurisdiction shopping? Just keep going around until he gets the result he wants.
He clearly believes in what he's doing. He clearly believes that he has never laid a finger on Amber Heard.
After you said, let's drown her before we
Or is
burn
it just
her
a good
to
actor?
death, you said,
Dealing with actors,
so burn
good
clothes
actors,
afterwards
except for
and
Amber Heard,
use
she's not a good actor.
That's what you said.
Hey, what's up, bro?
After you burned her and after
But on
you drowned
J-School.
her. Did I read that right?
You certainly did.
And you wrote that about the woman who later become your wife.
Yes, I did.
The more times that he keeps going to the well, the more allegations come out as a result. And I mean, this goes beyond dirty laundry. I mean, if he is guilty of some of the things that Amber Heard is accusing him of, he should be under criminal investigation.
Absolutely.
But no matter what
Absolutely, but and her for making up the allegations, nothing, nothing for her. Like, there's got to be a criminal penalty. Like, we can't just let Amber Heard. Like, she damaged a man's reputation. She got law enforcement or a whole judicial system involved because of her behavior. Like, really, nothing if she's proven wrong. You know, the law really does have to look into shit like this. You know, there are legal aspects that are unfair to men in general, especially when it comes to stuff like, paternity court, child support. But the fact that she may get off scot-free after all this is another example. I wonder what would happen if a man lied, under oath.
there is one group of people who are already convinced Johnny Depp is not a sinner. In their eyes, he'll always be a saint. There's a lot of Johnny Depp fans out there. What do you rank?
I'm number one. After 30
So they just grab like this crazy woman to fucking solidify his fucking case. Like, oh, we need someone to speak in favor of a Johnny Depp. Just get this crazy lady off the street with a sign.
6 years, so I'm the number one fan.
How do you become number one?
Well, you start following him after
She hasn't been a fan of Johnny Depp since Gilbert Grape. Okay? She's not even a real fucking fan.
And follow the Hollywood vampires through Europe, go to every movie premiere, every event, anything that Johnny does that you can get to. I love him, and like I said, it's been a long time. I love the person that he is. To me, he's an angel.
There are many words you could use to describe Yvonne de Boer. Perhaps devoted is the most fitting.
Eccentric. Eccentric would be really fitting.
Would you take a bullet for Johnny?
I would.
Like I said, eccentric.
And he looks at me like, no, don't think that. I said, no. If somebody were going to hurt you, I would jump in front of you. He's that person that you want to do that for him.
Because who just fantasizes about having sex with Johnny Depp? This fucking lady.
Yvonne gets to the courthouse at 1 a.m. each morning, guarantee herself a prime seat right behind Johnny. And after the evidence she's heard so far, it's fair to say hell hath no fury like a woman whose idol has been scorned. Dare I ask what you think of Amber Heard?
I think she's an evil person, a despicable person. I don't feel she or anyone has the right to make up the kind of lies that she's making up about him. She utterly wants to destroy him. and she'll
Yes.
never be able to.
I mean, like, yeah, she wants to destroy him, but
Yeah,
yeah, I'll
because
just
we're
get past this
strong.
fucking crazy lady. Come
Vaughn
on.
is part of the Justice for Johnny movement, which is hell-bent on delivering on its motto. How will you feel if Johnny loses?
Nothing's going to change for me. I'll still love him as much as I do. I'll still support him. I'll be there for him if we need to pick him up or cheer him up or whatever we need to do. I'll be there. Nothing will change.
How will you feel if Johnny wins?
I'll be ecstatic. I want him to be happy, to have peace, to have tranquility, and go on with his life.
Why does that
That's what I
matter?
Well,
But the reality is that the verdict in this case might be irrelevant anyway.
That cocaine, those white lines, those are that's cocaine, right?
I would assume.
Yeah, and that's your cocaine that you kept in that box that says property of JD with the skull and crossbones, isn't it?
Well, the beautiful composition of the photograph would suggest that, certainly.
You can't say you carried cocaine in that box?
No, but it looks like it would fit some cocaine.
Hollywood lawyer Christopher Melcher believes both sides are self-destructing in this unedifying spectacle.
Given the amount of pretty damaging evidence that they've got to go through in the courtroom here, even if Johnny Depp wins, does he kind of still lose?
This is a problem that all celebrities and public figures face when they feel that they're defamed. They want to fight back and clear their name. But we as legal advisors tell them that they're just bringing more attention to that statement. And sometimes it is better just to let it die. Because if you sue, you bring a lot of attention to it, and you also open yourself up to everything else. Any controversy like this is bad for their brand. It's actually toxic to their brand. They've lost control of how they're viewed when you have a court case like this going on.
It's not only exposing for myself, it's exposing for my family, it's exposing for Miss Heard. It never had to go in this direction. I can't say that I'm embarrassed because I know that I'm doing the right thing.
Hello, I'm Tom Steinbeck. Thanks for watching 60 Minutes Australia.
Yeah, you take you pick up Jordan Peterson, a toxic feminine. Let's see what the most fucking misogynistic dude ever has to say about toxic femininity.
This company that I wanted to share is called DirtRai. DirtRai has a 3-step system, and basically the purpose is...
I think it's trying to tell me I smell.
The Economist, and we were talking about aggression. And I said that men are, on average, more aggressive than women, or they're more physically aggressive. So, among children, for example, boys are more likely to kick, hit, bite, and steal. And that's not a bad operationalization of aggression.
I actually got beat up by a girl in elementary school because I called her fat. Just a great story.
And then, if you look within boys, a small proportion of the boys are that way at 2. Most of them get socialized out of it, but those that don't are stably antisocial and criminal into the adolescence and adulthood.
What are you supposed to do when everyone's beating the fuck out of you at school? Come on.
That's the developmental trajectory of aggression. Doesn't look like it's learned. Okay, so however, there's something else, so that's interesting enough. It's like, it's there at 2. It's a rage circuit. It's an old biological circuit, and it gets controlled. And most aggressive kids are socialized by the time they're 4. And if they're not, you can't socialize them after that. That's also
what?
Interesting and rather disheartening. But women, girls, however, they are more aggressive than males if you measure aggression differently. They use reputation destruction.
Amber Heard?
So,
yeah.
Well, we've seen what happens with social media. Physical aggression doesn't translate to social media. But reputation destruction, that translates to social media unbelievably well. So
Yo, he's got... No. Sorry, Jordan Peterson. He's got this fucking image in his mind that girls are like the movie Mean Girls. Like, that's just... Mean Girls was a hyperbole of, like, you know, the tiffs women get in amongst each other, you know? Like, what the... Like, this is so, like, just middle school thought, the way what he's engaging
Have a
in.
little chat about toxic femininity.
Well, there we go. Jordan, I've got a little piece of paper here with some of the questions we were going to ask you. And the next one on my list is why do people hate you? I think you've answered that.
Why do you think?
Well, I
don't know. What would you point to?
Well, let me ask you this because I think this is an important part of it. Helen Lewis, who's interviewed you and who wrote a review of your book, she hates you. I've met Helen Lewis, and she's interviewed me, and of all the things you might say about her, you wouldn't say that she was stupid, and you wouldn't say that she was poorly educated. Right?
So I might say that.
I was being generous.
She took advantage of the education that was offered to her, but education is so corrupt that macho makes you an expert at nonsense.
Touche, I'll accept that. But let's just go with the she's intelligent point. So she should be able to understand your arguments, and I'm sure she does. And yet I noticed time after time where an intelligent person, even Kathy Newman, you wouldn't say that she's stupid.
Bro, they're going, like, look at the undertone of this. Like, these women we think are intelligent, actually, they're just naming women and calling them stupid at this point. Like, yeah, I gave him a chance to have hear his perspective, and now I've heard Jordan Peterson's perspective, and I'm not surprised. It's garbage.
And lots of others come after you with a vitriol and a visceral. You can feel it. You can when you're watching
there.
Yeah, right.
Well, when I went to the GQ interview, look, I've got to say, when I went to the Kathy Newman interview, Kathy Newman was very professional. We met in the green room beforehand. She was perfectly polite, in a professional sort of way, but that's fair enough. Professional politeness beats the hell out of, random rudeness, so I'll take it. When I walked into the GQ interview, and I was already pretty worn out at that point, there was a photo shoot first, and then the interview, and that place was hostile. Right from the moment I walked in. And so I'm kind of on edge in that interview because I could feel that. And it was like...
if you walk into a room and there's women and you're like, this feels hostile. No, you're just an insecure man. Like, if you walk into a room full of women, right? And you're, by default, uncomfortable. You're insecure. Jordan Peterson is actually pretty fucking insecure. Fuck. Dudes look up to this guy. You can't see what a fucking no nuts motherfucker this dude is. Like, he just basically named women, named women to have an education and said, yeah, they're educated but they're stupid. So he just listed off women he thinks are stupid. Then he goes, I walk into a place and I feel uncomfortable because of these women. So he's insecure, and people look up to this dude. Dudes do.
Before I walked into that, so there wasn't even professional.
Like, you know where I knew? I was like, who has the dumbest take on toxic femininity? Because toxic femininity is a thing, but who's got to have the dumbest take? Actually, you know what? This might be. I haven't even checked out all the other right-wing dudes' perspective on this, but right now, since going down the rabbit hole at this subject, this is by far the dumbest take I've ever heard about this shit.
Politeness.
It's just a man that hates, like, women. Like, every time he speaks, I feel like this dude's about to be like, when women were invented,
It was, people can freeze up a room. Some people are really good at that. I think maybe it has to do with smell. I lived with someone once. And
smell? So these women smelled a certain way and you froze it? What the fuck?
You could tell if they were upset when you walked into the house. You get kind of an uneasy feeling. And the only explanation I have for that is that it's related to smell at some unconscious level. In any case.
Here, put on this fucking Axe body spray if you want people to stand still when you walk in a room.
The GQ interview atmosphere was unbelievably tense. And I was sort of in there for 45 minutes before I started talking, so I was, I was already in the position of a cat who hears dogs barking down the street. So, in any case,
What the fuck?
it still isn't obvious to me what it is that causes such animosity.
Well, let me posit a theory, Jordan, because this is what I really wanted to ask you. You tweeted the other day when Helen Lewis published her review of your book, you said, "Why do you hate me? I've tried to be a good man." And I replied saying, "I think you've answered your own question." And my fear is, and my question...
The moderators are just gonna... Alright, you know what? I'm cutting it off because this shit is so dumb. Like, they're gonna get nowhere. Anyways, yeah, an hour's gone by. I think we're straight. But remember, Donald Espada Comedy. Twitter, Real Donald Espada. YouTube, Donald Espada. DonaldEspada.com. If you're in Miami. Friday. I have a show at The Spot. In Wynwood. It's going to be fire. It's a music festival, but we're going to also feature some really good comedians in the area. You're going to love it. Yeah, so we will be back on Friday. Or I might stream throughout, you know, like I did today. Who knows? But Friday for sure. Friday I have a producer coming through, Raul Hernandez, before my show at The Spot. So, y'all are going to have a blast on Friday especially. All right, so everyone have a good rest of your evening. All right, and that's it.